Hi, I see one person in the chat. Hi, how are you? Welcome in. Please hit the like button. I'm going to give it a little bit more time. Please be patient with me. It's my birthday. Happy birthday to you. I see two people here. Thank you for coming in. You know, no, I need to put on my glasses. Please hit the like button as you come on in. It's just some things I wanted to sit around and talk about with you all today. We are in crunch time. Okay. We are on crunch time, y'all. We as R.Kelly supporters, I just want you all to know that. I see three people here. Yep. I have some corrections in my spelling, but anyway, I'm gonna get that together when I take this. Absolutely. I want to give a shout out to T is Blunt. Thank you for your comment. And I just want you all to know, like, I know I posted something here earlier this week. Things that I try to keep you updated on so we won't lose our focus and what we really out here fighting for. You know, and and I don't know if you all been paying attention to whatever I post each and every day. You know, people that come creeping in and not only see like I see you in the chat, but you don't speak or you don't hit the like button. I just know it's probably people from the other team, you know, that's moving around and looking at what we're talking about here. So I got to be very careful about some of the information I'm sharing out here with you. I already posted some information on my community post, on my community wall. Um, you know, things that I wanted to talk about to R. Kelly supporters and to his fans, because this is not just about R. Kelly, it's about us too, and how we have to apply that pressure on his attorney, Bew Brentley, for him to, you know, make sure that, you know, he files a very strong and very effective motion for R. Kelly for this next on for September the 17th. And we want to make sure I got to turn the music down, y'all. Just listen through it in the background for me because YouTube be wearing me out. Okay, we, you know, and I think some of you might have saw it posted, and some of you may have not saw it posted. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to read the letter to you all, like the things we have to do to move forward. And I wrote to Dear Mr. Brentley, we, the loyal fans and supporters of Robert Sylvester Kelly, writing to express our deep concerns regarding his health and ongoing legal battles, because we haven't heard anything updates on his health right now. Because the last we heard, that's why I posted that post on June 17th when he was supposed to have collapsed and was rushed to emergency and everything because he was over medicated. Okay. And I also expressed that for decades we stood by Mr. Kelly as his supporters, purchasing his albums, attending his concerts, and contributing to the success of his career. Without the fans who invested, and I made that very clear, in his artistry, there would be no profits for corporations like Sony to benefit from. Now, as reports surface about his collapse, okay, in prison and hospitalization, we feel left in the dark. The public is being fed conflicting stories. We're not hearing anything. We're hearing all this other stuff about his court date being changed from sometime from October to sometime in September. They moved it back. Okay. And for his motions to be in place when the government, it was supposed to be the government response was supposed to be at a certain time, not for R. Kelly, but now it's been changed for R. Kelly to respond. His motion has to be strong and effective for him to have a reopened trial. Okay, because that's what they're saying. Let's see if I could go back and share that information here with you. The information that I did have, like what they have wrote in the document. Excuse me, y'all. My allergies. I have bad allergies, y'all. Okay, that's why sometimes I'd rather not be on here because my allergies. 'Cause ever since surgery I had many years ago, it's starting to show. It's starting to take an effect on me. So sometimes I get a little nasal. I'm doing a lot of sniffling and whatever. So please be patient with me in the way I'm talking. Okay. I wrote some things here. I'm trying to go back to what I want to share with you about his you know, I don't think I went too far. I think I have gone too far. Let me go back. The latest update we had on R. Kelly about his motion. This was probably maybe a week or two ago, or maybe a week ago. I'm not sure because I'm so busy. I'm doing a lot of things. I'm working, with work and everything else like that. So that kind of like throws me sometimes. Okay. Okay, we're going to talk about R. Kelly's update. His critical deadlines, okay, is ahead. And I said to us as his supporters and his fans, to stay alert. The federal court just issued a new schedule in Robert Sylvester Kelly's civil case. This is a make or break moment. And that's why I said we're on crunch time. Here's what it means. What's happening? The government is filing, okay, a motion, okay, dismiss his case, claiming failure to prosecute. Okay, this is what the government is doing. And on September the 17th of 2025, R. Kelly response is due. So the government has already filed their motion to dismiss his case, right? So on September the 17th of 2025, R. Kelly's response is due. And that's maybe a week and a half from now, right? And on October the 1st of 2025 is when the judge will issue decision by mail deciding if his case will go forward or will be dismissed. Okay. So the hearing that was set for January the 23rd of 2026 has been canceled. Now depends on this ruling. Okay, so this is very, very critical for R. Kelly right now. And it's critical for us as well because this is our product. This is what we brought into, this is what we made investments in. And let me go back to my letter, which I did state here to Brew Brentley. Okay. For decades, we stood by Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly as his supporters and purchasing his albums, attending his concerts, and contributing to the success of his career. Without the fans who invested in artistry, his artistry, right? There would be no profits for corporations like Sony to benefit from. So basically, they trying to shut us down because we the ones who brought into the product. We care about R. Kelly. We love his music. We enjoy the energy he brought on stage to us, or the songs that made us feel touched in some certain type of way where it touched our lives. And it's a really critical moment for us. Okay, that's why I said we need to stop the fight and the bickering. And anybody that wanted to share any information here with me on the KC McDaniel channel, I'm open to it. I'm open to anybody's, anything that anybody have that will be helpful at this moment for Robert Sylvester Kelly, because we have something in common, and that's R. Kelly. And we all love R. Kelly's music. That's what brought us all together as fans and his supporters. Now, as reports surface about his collapse in prison and hospitalization, we feel left in the dark. The public is being fed conflicting stories, gossip from social media on one side, and dismissive statements from government officials on the other. Okay, as supporters who care deeply about Mr. Kelly's life and well-being, we believe he deserves transparency, clarity about his true condition, and the legal steps being taken. We are not asking for privileged information because we're not asking. We asking for something that we need is transparency and clarity. We are asking for communication and guidance because we lost in the dark, so that we may stand with him more effectively, right to the right officials, and raise awareness in ways that matter. We remain committed to supporting Robert Sylvester Kelly in his fight for justice. And we look to you and your team to help us understand how to best do that. Okay. Respectfully, your name on behalf of supporters of Robert Sylvester Kelly. And I also ask for fans to copy, paste this letter. If you want to add what you want to add to it, you can do that, but please make it professional. Okay, because we not fighting just for R. Kelly, you know. It's how we address issues, that stands out for R. Kelly. We got to stand in the gap for him in prayer. And, because this article I read by News Nation, and attorney Bew Brentley joins News Nation to discuss the latest twist in the legal battle involving the singer who collapsed in prison and was hospitalized, according to court filings this week. This was on June 17th. This article was written. And his legal team says the incident supports his claim of a murder plot by a prison official and is asking for temporary home detention. Federal prosecutors have rejected the claim as a fanciful conspiracy. Like R. Kelly, there was just some way for him to get out of jail and he was just acting and whatever. But this is serious, y'all, because they just using anything they can to discredit him and to make him, want to make him really truly believe that he should be in prison, or make the public believe that he should be in prison because of the claims against him, the allegations against him or whatever. But we not stupid. We fans are not stupid. And I also wrote, and I think I shared this last night with you about to Sony. which this will be following after I send out the letter to Bo Brentley, because he will receive what we want done, what is coming up for September the 17th. And following up with that letter, I also going to post something else, but I wasn't going to post this on my community wall because I want this to hit him so he'll know that September 17th is critical to us. Okay. But I didn't put it on my community wall. So I just wanted to just come and share that with y'all this evening. My allergies are just messing with me right now. Oh, Jesus, please hold on, Lord. Okay. And this is what I'm saying, this is another letter that I will be just sending out with along with the letter that I'll be sending for his September, you know, concerning what the letter that I'm sending, of course, you know, this is going to be a cover note for what I'm sending to Brew Bentley, his attorney, okay, on this whole thing of how he should be filing this motion for Robert Sylvester Kelly and make sure that he is going to be hit, because it's going to be certified and it's going to be signed and a returned, okay, return signature to me. Okay. Dear Mr. Brentley, attached you will find a letter from supporters of Robert Sylvester Kelly. We are aware of the September 17th deadline for filing a motion and wanted to express both our concerns and our encouragement that a strong filing be made on his behalf. As his loyal supporters, we stand ready to assist in constructive ways, and we trust that our voices will underscore the urgency of this moment. Thank you for your time and attention. So the letter will be also included in here. Okay, so I don't know. I'm just trying to make sure that this letter by certification mail, so it will rise way before September 17th. And I'm going to keep my copies, of course, of the letters, the records, and everything, along with the certified receipt of return and the tracking. And then I'm also going to send out an email. I can't do it tonight. I'm tired tonight. I'm just drained tonight. Okay. I had a very hectic day today. Um, I just wanted to just make sure I keep you in the loop and make sure you are informed of what I'm moving to do. And hopefully you'll be moving to do the same. Prayerfully, send your prayers. So if you haven't been to my YouTube channel, if you haven't went to my YouTube channel, you could go to my YouTube channel, go to my community wall, you will see the letter. And I just want to encourage you to please copy paste it. Please send out a letter as well. We want to apply that pressure because we do want to see R. Kelly back with us in concerts or whatever, you know, future goals he may have with his work and his art. We invested in the product. We love the product, and I don't see why we should be having to keep going through all of this. We went through this for 7 years now, and enough is enough. Him as his fans, and I expressed everything from the human heart that I can to make them listen to our voices. Of what we are dealing with right now as his fans. The money we put in his pocket, the money that we invested in R. Kelly's music, and the money that we, his fans, sold out with his concerts. All of that was coming from us because we love his music. We love the work. We love the product. And we don't want AI. We don't want no, animated stuff or made up artificial intelligence or anything of that nature. We want the real deal. Okay. We pay for something that is authentic, something that is very good and satisfying to our liking. Okay. So this is why I'm telling you, as his supporters, to please follow and do what I'm doing. So this could be even more louder for people to hear, because one person alone can't do this. And we need his supporters, his fans, and everybody that likes this man's product to join us in this fight for his freedom. And also not for his freedom, but also we coming for Sony. Because today, this morning, when I woke up early this morning, me and my husband, okay, of course he's watching all of this stuff going on with Epstein. Okay. He loves listening to this stuff about Epstein's files being, publicly displayed or given the names of the list of the people who are on the Epstein clients list. Okay. And all these women came forward and they came with their attorneys. They came to tell their stories. And that was on the news this morning. And I was like, my husband's like, yeah, this is what y'all need to be doing for y'all boy. You know what I'm saying? I was like, what? He said, yeah, this is what y'all need to be going forward to do for Robert Sylvester. Call a conference, have his attorney, even if y'all have to get your own attorneys and everything, if y'all can invest in your own, team of attorneys for the support group, the Spain group that y'all can get to fight for Robert Sylvester Kelly. This is my husband. This was his idea. He said, this is what these people are doing. They said, okay, if they don't want to reveal the names of the list of people who are Epstein clients, Epstein might be dead, but these people invested in the evils and the enterprise of what they done to protect the names of the wealthy and the rich and the famous who have done these things, like companies' names. They call Merrill Lynch, they called out corporations. They were like on it. I was watching it this morning when I was like, yo, y'all need to just like, this is what y'all need, a class action. Y'all need to get together. All y'all do is argue, fight, and dog each other. And, that's a distraction to the whole movement. That's a distraction to the mission. When y'all fighting and arguing, the government is winning. The distraction, the division, they see that. That's why they've been winning all along. Y'all got to get it together. You don't here to like everybody. You ain't here to be friends with everybody, but we all here for a mission. And the mission is that we want justice for Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly, because what we share with each other in common is that we all seen the injustice. Well, definitely saw that, unless some of y'all just out here just a clout chase or whatever. But I'm sure people ain't gonna stay here for 8-7 years. Well, I don't know. I just don't know. But just the chance we take, because we don't know each other. But what brought us together was the music and the artists. And that's what we're fighting for. Something of our memory, something of our that we all enjoy and love. Some of us love him in some ways, certain type of music, and some of us love him because he's our love story, like mine. So everybody has a different face to R. Kelly, a different part that they like about R. Kelly. Me, I enjoy every concert I went to R. Kelly's. I enjoyed every bit of his performance. He's always gave nothing but the best. The concerts that I have been able to attend and the ones that I have gone to, and I ain't going through that many. I ain't that much been spending money going to concerts just for R. Kelly, but I'm just saying he's always been one of the top ones on my list when it came to the work and his storytelling. He's just has been that person. He's been the one. I'm not that crazy about a lot of artists out here because they stuff is bullshit. It's not real. It's fake, and they don't really speak nothing but death. I'm not into hearing all of that gang banging, killer music and move disrespectful to women type of stuff. R. Kelly, his stories were like relationships. How sometimes relationships just came to a clash. And sometimes, to an end, and is going through a transition or whatever. His storytelling is just beautiful because we all can relate to it in some type of way. So that's what I loved about him. He was real. He was real. His energy, the way he touched down in the life that you were having at that moment. He was real. That's what we love. And it's sad that they trying to think they own him, and they don't own him. He was made and created Like I said here, and what I have wrote to, I think I shared it with you last night in the video. I ain't gonna keep you too much longer, but I just wanted to just come bring this update to you tonight and what we need to be doing. But anyway, like I said to you last night, that I had to express about what Sony has been doing to R.Kelly. To Sony. It's not only just R.Kelly, it's what they've done to many of our black artists. Okay. Like they own them. Like they gotta be a slave to them for their music and they getting profit while these people go to prison or they end up dead and they still make money off of them in their death. Like it's been a game going on forever. And it comes to a point where it has to stop now. Black men gotta own what's his. You know. And this is something that I wrote because I went over his story of his life and the things that I do. I said Robert Sylvester Kelly entered the music industry in the 1990s as a young, aspiring artist with nothing but the natural gift, his determination, and the encouragement of those who believed in him. From singing in his family church to performing at high school talent shows. His first love was basketball, a dream cut short by learning challenges that demanded a higher GPA. Right, just to stay on the, just a higher GPA, just to stay on the courts. That's what I meant to say. Okay, and when that door closed, Robert's music teacher, Miss McLennan, Lena McLennan, nurtured his other God-given gift in music. She helped him craft songs and melodies that went on to touch the world. Robert never came into this industry as a predator, a liar, a criminal. He came in as a young man with vision, heart, and gratitude for those who guided him. Yet once signed to Sony, he was molded, packaged, and exploited to fit an image that served corporate profit. Even at the cost of truth, Sony allowed lies to become part of his brand. Lies that dehumanized him, destroyed his character, and helped fill corporate pockets. The truth is this: Robert's talent built Sony. His artistry, his catalog, and his voice carried the label to heights that would not have been possible without him. But you didn't take from him, you took from us, which are his fans. Without our dollars buying his albums, without us selling out his concerts, Sony would never have become so powerful. And that's for every artist. We were the ones who invested our money, our loyalty, and our hearts into Robert's music. And in return, both he and we were betrayed. Robert Sylvester Kelly was a young man with a gift, a dream, a heart for music. He trusted an industry that promised opportunity, but instead used him as a product, a headline, a cash machine. Sony built this empire on his God given talent by crafting a false image that served only their profit. But the theft doesn't stop with him. He You rob the fans too. Without us, the millions who purchased every album, streamed every song, and packed every concert hall, your success would have never reached the heights. We carry both Robert and Sony on our shoulders, and in return, we've been left with lies, broken trust, and the silencing of an artist whose voice changed the world. When you turned your back on Robert, you turned your back on us. This was not only the exploitation of one man, but the betrayal of an entire community of supporters who kept your company alive. We see it, we know it, and we will not be silent about it, respectfully. So it's really up to you, fans, to fight because this is us. that they robbed. This is us that they stole from. This is us that they profited off of, not just Robert. And this is why I'm sharing this tonight with you. I'm going as deep as I can with my heart. Why this is such an important mission. Why it's such a fight for us. And why it's important that we send out our letters, not just one person, me, but all of us. Don't be afraid. Don't be silent. Don't be silent. Because it's been going on for decades. Not just with Robert, but it has been going on with a lot of artists before Robert. And at some point, we got to stand for truth. And we got to stop this. Because if we don't, it's just going to happen to another one of us. That's how it is. And at some point, we got to stand up for the truth. And we're going to look for guidance through Robert Sylvester Kelly's legal team and transparency. It is what it is. So with all of that being said to you tonight, because your girl KC McDaniel with her allergies, I can't stay on here all night with you. But please hit the like button when you come in. And whatever you did miss before you came onto this live, watch the replay. Leave a comment, leave some suggestions. If you have any that's going to benefit for Robert Sylvester Kelly in this fight, if you have anything negative to say, just keep it to yourself. Because at this point, we don't want to hear. I don't want to hear. Okay, I'm doing what I can, and that was very interesting with my husband. I thank him for sharing that information with me about these Epstein victims. I wrote something here also in the description. If you want to go and read the description, you can read that. I also got to put the copyright, whatever in there. But anyway, I just wanted to share that with you tonight, okay, on this Friday night. So please like, share, if you can. Leave a comment below. And I promise you, if something is good and it's something for the fight and for the mission and it's going to benefit the mission, I will be glad to read it and I will be glad to respond back to you at my most earliest convenience. So you all have a blessed and wonderful Friday evening. And if God's willing, I may or may not be back with you later on in the weekend. But I'm going to get me some rest. I'm going to get me some tea, go lay down, watch a little TV, maybe listen to some Robert Sylvester Kelly. I don't know what's going to happen tonight, what's going to pop off. But anyway, I'm glad you all came in. So thank you all for what you do on the Casey McDaniel Speaks channel. God bless. Love you. Peace.